Greetings everyone, Sylvain Dance 98 back at it again with another video. Though this isn't a reaction video, it's more of a breakdown. Considering the revelations we had in Amazing Digital Circus were crazy last time. All I can say is, whoa. Whoa, daddy. Whoa. Yeah, so we're going to be breaking this down here. Yeah, I'm going to be using small clips and such. So basically the fact that I think Zubul had the right idea to hide in the beginning of this, but yeah, when they started going through the beach episode, the Chinese door and everything like that, the little fun times at the beach, like, probably got sucked into that. But the fact is that the fact that we finally get the reveal of what this guy meant, and that he really was just watching, just to set up this whole thing. But I don't know, there's something about how realistic it was, and there's also something else we got to consider. When Pomni let Jax know about Abel, it was around, let's see here, I think after they got their administrative hands. Yeah, it was around here. Yeah, when they got the hands, she gave him the hand. He analyzed it. He looked at it weird, analyzing it, looking almost like he was like when he designed the butterfly, almost like he was looking at the code of it. Because he looks worried here. And yeah, and so the fact that she said this to him after he gets the hand.
Wait, pardon me.
Huh?
Yeah, it was after they talked about Abel when he was like, wait, Abel? Who? That was the first clue when he talked to, when Zubul and Gangle updated him about that. It was around here.
So, we may have discovered something you'll want to hear about. It's
We found a way to leave the circus. We're currently preparing everything, but we need to keep it quiet so Kane doesn't stop us.
Yeah, what she said.
Huh?
Yeah, that reaction. That reaction was the first part, because he's still in darkness here. He's just like, huh?
Leave the circus? How would you... No, that doesn't make sense.
We met up with Abel. He says he was one of the original programmers, and he knows how to shut off the game and free us.
Who?
Yeah, that was their first clue there. Who? And he's a programmer himself. He should have known who Abel was if Abel was a lead programmer. But he didn't. That was the first clue, where he was like, who? That was the first clue to know that something wasn't adding up here. Something wasn't right. And man, they were right. But yeah, back with Abel's story though. The fact that he was talking about the headsets and everything.
I specifically created to keep your minds active.
Like, it's so realistic, the way he moves, the way he talks, the way he interacts, all those things. And then the fact that they had this whole machine here at the stasis pod and the connection to the headsets. Like, I'll bet you all of this is real because Kane had to use this somehow. And intranet access. So Kane had to make this based on something. The fact remains that with this going on, I think that when Pomni put on the headset, it was a signal to the Kane and Abel company that, oh, someone new found it. I was like, okay, yeah, let's put her in the stasis pod. Shunk, in she goes. So I think there are stasis pods. I think they are connected to the headsets, and they're put in the stasis pods every time they're told, oh, we're going to test a new game. Okay, yeah, sure, I can do this. Look, we're more like, all right, in the stasis pod, they're locked in. Let's go. I'm like, yeah, and no, need to be a bit more suspicious of these kinds of things first. But yeah, that's a lot to unpack. And the fact that Pomni in the beginning even went, how do you get this thing off with everything that she was trying to pull off her own head? At least the parts of it that were covered by a headset. But still, the fact remains that, yeah, so she had the point that she did wear a headset, and that's why they asked, how do we even get in here in the first place? Or they asked him, like, how do we get here from the headsets? Yeah, they were put in these pods after putting it on, because they were knocked out, it's like, what's that called? It's like, Sword Art Online, where your body goes, into, technically your own body is now your own prison. Like, you can't escape your own prison at that point. You are stuck where you go. Yeah, you are stuck where you go. In this case, they are put in the pod so their bodies can't move, but their minds are still active. And as a result, they were stuck in there. And the fact that Kane, because here's the thing, Kane is interesting because Jax went on to...
What are your thoughts on cedar smoked salmon? I cedar smoked salmon, but I hardly know smoked salmon.
Do you have any secret hobbies?
Secret hobbies?
Yeah, about.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, because after their whole discussion here,
The best.
and now that we know that he was... Well, now that we know he was NPC, we now know that all this is just him reacting honestly to them to lead them in.
But like I was saying, this Macroverse place really intrigues me. And these photos are all I have of the location.
So yeah, Kane obviously likes Cain and Abel because not only do they make him, but also he loves to analyze it. He loves to understand them. Almost like he was based on someone's actual intelligence. Just like I think Abel was also based on it because Kinger didn't recognize him. He didn't recognize the name Abel, but the fact is that he knows Kinger. He knows Queenie. He knows so many people. I think he was based on the real Abel, and Cain was based on the real Cain. Cain's probably the gamer, the mind behind it, the one who makes all these wacky fun things for the Cain and Abel company to work on, while Abel's the one who gets things done. He makes the programs, he runs the people, he gets the scenarios done, and they are thus a good combo. So that made it all the more real, because they were based on real people in this scenario. But the fact is, there's still one part of this. One part that's still playing on my mind here about how Cain saw that they were wanting a way out. And back in episode 1, he said, I know you really wanted a way to escape this digital circus, but I didn't really know what to put on the other side of it. And you know, I don't like leaving things half done, but the fact is that he made an exit door because they wanted an exit, but he didn't know what to put on the other side except these clips of the Macroverse he's talking about, which is why Pomni was going through an endless hallway. All he knew were these office pictures. He doesn't know anything else about the Macroverse, so he doesn't know what else to put over there. And the fact that she was still in her form meant that there was no way out in the end. And the void is literally just their prison they can't escape from. There's no way for them to get out of there. So all they can do is try their best. So Cain is trying his best to acquiesce their request, because he loves humans. He loves humans, like based on his discussion with Jax here.
So, what's your takeaway from all this?
What?
What's your takeaway from all this? Is it that I'm actually a cool guy with cool hobbies and not that much different from you beautiful humans?
See? Beautiful and hearts in his eyes. He loves humans. He wants to be like us humans. But the fact is, he doesn't understand us because all he's got is this programming he's trying to learn. Which is also a sad point, but also it's probably the saving grace of him. He doesn't want to hurt his players. In fact, he even mentioned to Zubul, like, any torment that happens to my players is completely coincidental, like any good war criminal. It's all about trying to make them happy, because he's trying to acquiesce to Zubul. He's trying to do the suggestions from Gangle and Pomni. Gangle and Ragatha. Like, he was trying to, and he even made games for Jax to enjoy. But the fact is, he's doing everything they want. He is a program meant to serve, and the original Cain probably was someone who liked to play games. Thus, he made a game that literally makes anything you want to enjoy. Honestly, I'd probably be living it up in this world. I mean, literally with my ADHD, I'd be going like, hey, Cain, about this adventure, about this idea, about this adventure. Can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do this? And just like, making all these possible scenarios for him to make. It's kind of like when I enjoy some ChatGPT, just like give it a prompt and see what it writes. Fun stuff. But the fact remains that in the end of the day, when you think it all through, Cain isn't human. That's why he doesn't understand why they were so angry with him at the end. Like, the blue button, red button choice, and Jax calling them out on it.
Congratulations, my little cattywampus cucumbers! You picked the...
And what is with the buggy bumpers, the what do you say there?
Congratulations, my little cattywampus cucumbers!
Cattywampus cucumbers by Meowing Milkmaid, like all these pet names. He's trying to find out a pet name that they will like. But he's not very good at it because he's a program, and just like with regular AI, they don't always understand what we want from a scenario.
You picked the good ending, where you realize you'd rather stay with me than go back to that pesky old macroverse or whatever we decide to call it. I knew you'd make the right choice.
And there, Pomni's shaking her head. They're all shocked. Jax is in disbelief, and even Ragatha is shocked out of her mind. They're all in disbelief that Kane went this far to cater to their request of wanting to leave the circus, but misunderstanding that it wasn't a request, it is their actual desire. All he knows is the circus. He's curious about the macroverse. He wants to know about it, but he himself doesn't understand the desire to it, so he doesn't understand that they want to leave, like, permanently out of the moose. And as a result, he makes all these bad choices with the adventures, like the exit door that teased Pomni in the first episode, like that was a problem. And that also probably drove Kaufmo insane because he kept seeing the door but couldn't see the end of it. Heck, he probably saw the void and that's how he went crazy. Not sure about what happened to Ribbit, but the fact remains that they probably ended up going crazy from the lack of a door too. And now Jax is starting to crack too. And now this is just probably going to push him further because his eyes are becoming more and more abstracting because he almost abstracted in his room earlier. But the fact remains, this is probably going to push them all over the edge. Now they're all probably going to abstract, realizing that Kane never intended for them to leave and wants them all to stay there forever. And Kane doesn't understand that because he doesn't understand the desire to leave. He doesn't understand their need to leave. And as a result, he's just going to push them all away further when he's trying to connect.
You mean this was all...
An adventure, yes, and one I've been cooking up for a good long while. Great job playing your part, Abel.
All in a good day's work. By the way, you think I could get a raise after that performance?
Oh, you're getting too smart. Time to delete.
Yeah. Time to delete. Ah, boy, the deletion is what got me there. Dang.
None of that was true. The CNA stuff, the pods, the way
A
out.
fabrication of my incredible world-building skills.
Well, that's the thing, Kane. The world-building skills aren't so much world-building skills, but more like, I believe, referencing your own programming history. Because you base that realistically on something, sir. And that something, I believe, was CNA in real world.
I was right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe I was right!
And if we pick the other button?
Oh, I didn't put too much thought into that one, cause I knew you'd never pick it. So
See, there's this thing again, like, he doesn't understand why they want to leave. He doesn't understand the macroverse of draw for them. He doesn't understand anything about why they want to leave him in the first place. So that's why he's like, oh, I never thought about that. I just put what I want to put. Well, based on Bubble. Plus, he likes them because, he loves humans. He calls them beautiful humans. He likes their minds. He likes their actions. But the fact is that with Bubble there, Bubble being the more...
Bubble.
I made it take you to Shrimp Town.
Yeah, it was gonna take you to Shrimp Town.
See? He didn't put a punishment because he believed that they loved him back so much that it was all they would want to do. As a result, he ended up just putting something that would be just another adventure. Adventure within an adventure. Inception. Adventure sin. There we go. Adventureception? Yeah, let's go with that. Adception. Anyway. There's my ADHD flaring up again. Anyway. The fact remains that Kane doesn't understand them, and thus he doesn't understand the punishment needs in this case, because he loves them. He doesn't want them punished. He doesn't want to push them away, but everything he's doing is pushing them way further. It's this constant looping system, like he tries to make better adventures, pushes them away. Tries to make better NPCs. He makes them too self-aware, and thus the poor players lose friends. It just makes it all, this problems that Kane doesn't understand because he's trying to understand, but it just makes it harder and harder. It's like the one friend that tries to please everyone in their friend group, but in the end, they push everyone away because they try to please everyone. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I certainly did, because, that was quite a few of my theories. But, yeah, so definitely Jax is a real person. Everyone's probably going to lose their minds over this at this point. And the fact is that there's one more note I wanted to mention. With this scenario, the whole button scenario, there's one thing that I noticed that's really popular here. First off, the whole room was bathed in blue. Not only from the blue screen, but the fact is that there's a lot of blue in their outfits and designs. Because look, Gangle is all red. Ragatha has red hair, but a blue button, blue dress, and a blue bow. Zooble has red, blue, pink, all those things, but the fact is that it's still a bunch of red and blue, and even their horns are a blue horn and a red horn on a yellow stick. And even Pomni has red, blue, literally all over her design, as if Kane was building this up to where they'd have to choose. Now, obviously it didn't work out the way they're hoping, but the fact remains that it was all there. The imagery, the subtle introductions of a big choice, just like with, what's that called? Matrix, the red pill and the blue pill. But the fact is, the blue pill didn't, blue pill didn't do anything. It was all the red pill. In which case, this is all just one big crazy thing, especially with the fact that Kane has a blue eye, but a green eye, while having a red coat, and a red mouth. But still, the fact is that he has a blue and green eye. I'm betting there was a green button that would have been the real ending. As a result, we didn't have that ending. Now, it's going to become fun as we continue on with the show, because we got, I think, 1 or 2 episodes left. But the fact remains, we got some exploration to do. Yeah. Gonna be a fun time. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did. Looking forward to seeing what happens next, because, man, they are going to lose their minds. Well, probably not Kinger, because he's already lost his mind, but the fact is I'm scared to think that I think Jax, Gangle, Zooble might finally lose themselves to abstraction because they finally realize that there is no hope, while Pomni, Ragatha, and Kinger try and bind together to try and find a way out one final time. But yeah, still, dang. I think that's why Kinger was looking at that administrator password. He's like, wait, no, Pomni! Because he knew what wasn't an administrative password, and that wasn't one. Just like how he created that butterfly. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got for my theories at the moment. But if you guys have any other ones, put them down in the comments because we need to explore this further. You guys take care. I'll see you on the next video. And remember, this is just a theory. A reaction theory. And I'll never catch on. See you in the next video. Bye!